Hi everyone, welcome back to Dr. RCM Academy. In this session, I am going to deal with the methods available for list. What do you mean by methods? Method is nothing but it is similar to a function that what we call in Python, except that we are going to call on a value. Based on the value that we pass through a method, it gives you the output. Let us take one example. Suppose if I have a list with the name spam, then I want to find out what is the index of the value hello, then which is present in the list spam, then gives you the index of the particular value that I pass on. So this is index method. Not only list, so every data type that you have, so you can also find what are the methods of it. Let us now look into list methods. Few list methods that what I am going to discuss in this session is index, append, insert, remove, sort and reverse. Let us take one by one. If I consider the index, in the index method, if the value exists in the list, whatever the value it is already present in the list, if I give that value, it will return. So what is the index of that value that you are passing? Next scenario, suppose if the value that you are passing is not there in the list, then it will throw an error which is called value error. So if value is present in the list, then it will return the index. Suppose if the value is not present in the list, it will give you error. And suppose if the same value is present 2 to 3 times, or more than one time, then it returns the value, it returns the index that is appearing first. So if the same value may be appearing at multiple times, so whichever appears the first, that respective index will be given as an output. Let us take one example. If you see here, I have created a list called spam. In this list, I have 3 elements: hi, hello and Python. Suppose if I want to know what is the index of Python, then I should give the list name. It is spam dot index is the method that I am going to use. So in the index, so which value that you are passing is, let me say Python. Then the index of Python should be written. So as we know, the index starts from 0, 1 and 2. So the index of Python is 2. So you get the output as 2 as shown here. Similarly, if you want to find out what is the index of hi, then it gives you the index value is 0. Now I search what is the index of the word which is not there in the list. Let me say hi. So now here hi is all in uppercase, so which is not there in the list. Therefore, it gives you an error. So what is that error called? Value error. I take another scenario where hi is available 2 times at the 0th index and 1, 2 and the 3rd index. Now if I search what is the index value of hi, since you have 2 hi in the list, so it gives the first appearance. The first appearance is hi is available at 0th index. Therefore, you get the output as 0, not 3. Next method that I am going to discuss in the list is append and another is insert. As the name suggests, you are appending. So this method call and adds the argument, whatever the argument you pass in this, so that will be added to the list at the end. So at the output, whatever the list that you have, at the end of the list a new element is added, so which you are passing in the append method. Similarly, so what is this insert is, so it inserts the value that you specify here, okay, wherever you specify the index value. Therefore, since you have to pass 2 arguments for this method, because you have to pass 2 arguments, the first argument will tell you at what position you have to insert the value. The first argument is you are going to mention where you are going to insert the value, and the second argument tell you what is the value that you need to insert. Therefore, the first argument will always talk about the index of the new value to be inserted, whereas second value exactly tells you what value you have to insert in the list. Let us take one examples for each append as well as insert and explore. So, how does it work in Python? Now, I have created a list with the values in it as cat, dog and rat. Now, suppose if I say I want to append another animal name in the list, then as I know, I should first indicate the list name. Dot append is the method that I am going to use, and the value which you need to insert you are going to mention here. So, let me say I want to insert mouse. Then where does this mouse will be inserted in the list? Since I am using append method, it will be inserted in the end of the list 1. Suppose if I ask what is list 1 now, so apart from cat, dog and rat, so whatever you had previously, now mouse is also added, and it is added at the end of the list. Similarly, so in the append, mouse was inserted at the end of the list. Suppose mouse, if I want to insert in between at some particular position, then I can use insert method rather than append. How do you use that? So, I mentioned the list name dot, instead of append I use insert, and here as I said you require two arguments to pass. First argument was the position where I need to insert. Suppose if I want to insert after cat, then the index value here is cat was 0. Now, I want to insert at first index, and what is the value that I need to insert is mouse. Suppose, so if I do this, then list 1 is updated where mouse is inserted at a position 1. Therefore, at the index 1. Therefore, if I ask Python what is list 1, it gives you the modified list where mouse is inserted at position 1, at index 1. Next method of the list that I discuss here is remove. Suppose if I want to remove one element from the list, then I simply use a method remove. So, what does this do? Remove method, whenever you pass a value, so which value has to be removed from the list, that has to be passed. And suppose if the value is present in the list, definitely it is going to remove. If the value is not present in the list, if you still try to remove that element, so it gives you a value error, meaning that that value is not in the list. And the second scenario where you have same value, that what you are passing is appearing multiple times, then which value will be eliminated is the first appearance element. The first appearance element will be removed from the list, whereas the remaining element with the same name will appear in the list itself. If I take an example, spam. So, I have a list of cat, bat, rat and elephant. So, in list with the name spam. If I remove bat, so now the bat is appearing at this position, that will be eliminated, that will be removed. Therefore, if I try to find out what is spam, so you will get the remaining elements only, because bat is removed, that is you get cat, rat and elephant only, bat was removed. And if you take another example, so same list that you have spam as cat, bat, rat and elephant, but you are going, if you try to remove chicken, so which is not there in the list. So, since it is not there in the list, it is not possible to remove. Instead, it gives an error called value error in Python. In the second scenario, what I have taken, suppose if the list consists of multiple cats here. So, you have a cat at 0th index, you have cat at index 3 and index 5. If I try to remove cat, it will not remove all the values which is similar or same as cat. It only removes the first appearance of cat, that is at 0th index. Therefore, so if I try to find out what is spam after removing, so you can see that, so cat at the 0th index is removed, you started with bat, rat, cat and hat. Here, after removing an element from the list, indexes are auto updated. So now previously cat was 0th index, now bat becomes the 0th index and so on. The other method of list is sort. Whatever the numbers present in the list or the strings present in the list can be sorted by the method sort. Now here sorting lists that have both number value as well as string cannot be done. Either the list what you have, it should consist of numbers or it should consist of strings. If you have a combination of different data types, so it is not possible to sort by Python. While sorting this, so Python compares the ASCII values of every string or a number, and then it is going to compare, and then it is going to sort it in a increasing order, in a ascending order. Let us explore this method, so with the help of Python tool. Now to explain this sorting, I have considered list 1 which is equals to A, which is in lowercase, which is in uppercase, similarly B and Z in uppercase. So if I have created a list 1, so with these elements in it, I want to sort list 1, then I use list 1 dot sort. If I do this, so list 1 dot sort is list 1 is sorted. So now if I print what is list 1, you can observe that it is been sorted. Now you got the uppercase first, then the lowercase. The reason is the ASCII value of A, capital letter A, is smaller when you compare with the lower cases. Therefore, so it is arranged in A to Z uppercase and A to Z in lowercase. Let me modify list 1, not only the alphabets, so I also added numbers in it. So I have, along with alphabets A, B and Z, so I also have numbers 1 and Z. Suppose if I try to sort this, so you get an error. The reason here is, so you have both alphabets and numbers, so different data types, therefore Python is not able to sort it. Therefore you get an error called type error, which means that whenever you are sorting a list, be careful that the entire list should contain either a number or a string, that means one data type only. I have created a list 1 with some elements in it, 1, 5, 10, 4 and 1. Suppose if I want to sort it in a reverse order, then I simply say list 1 dot sort. So if you say just list 1 dot sort, it arranges in a ascending order. Now if I want to make it in a reverse way, so that means a small to big to small, that is descending order, then I simply say reverse is equal to true. And now if I ask what is list 1, then it is going to arrange in a descending order, that is big to small. This is how you can arrange them in a descending order.